In today's top stories, a WA coroner finds the fatal police shooting of JC was preventable, sparking renewed calls for police reform and cultural training. Meanwhile, new data highlights undiagnosed ear disease as a major barrier to Indigenous children's development, and the RISE Project's latest report shows how culturally driven education is delivering real impact for First Nations students. More on that later. Kaya, this is the National Indigenous Times Daily News Bulletin for Thursday, the 3rd of July. A Western Australian coroner has found the fatal police shooting of JC, a 29-year-old Nalawanga Yamaji Matu woman, was preventable. JC was shot by Officer Brent Wyndham in Geraldton in 2019, just weeks after her release from custody. Although 8 officers attended the scene, Wyndham was the only one to draw a firearm. He was later acquitted of murder and manslaughter. Coroner Russ Fogliani ruled the death a lawful homicide but said officers missed key opportunities to de-escalate the situation and criticised WA police for inadequate training, particularly in cultural awareness and effective communication. JC had a history of mental health challenges and was described as vulnerable, experiencing homelessness and suicidal ideation in weeks leading up to her death. The coroner made 9 recommendations, including the creation of a dedicated police branch to improve relationships with Aboriginal communities and cultural appropriate training co-designed by Indigenous people. Justice Advocate Jerry Georgitis called the findings shambolic and said the focus should have been on the officer who fired the fatal shot, adding a human being was needlessly killed. Undetected ear disease is preventing many Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander children from developing key communication and learning skills, says Yorta Yorta woman and Hearing Australia cultural leader Kira Lee Cross. New data from the government-funded hearing assessment program, Early Ears, reveals that over 26% of Indigenous children aged between 0 and 6 assessed through the program have undiagnosed ear disease, while 1 in 5 have undiagnosed hearing loss. Conditions like otitis media can begin in infancy without obvious symptoms and if left untreated can affect listening, speech and language development, often leading to social isolation and misinterpreted behavioural issues at school. A new 5-minute screening tool, Plum, developed with Aboriginal Health Services, is 91% accurate in detecting long-term hearing issues. Hearing Australia is working with over 400 health organisations, including many Aboriginal community-controlled health organisations, to improve access to regular ear checks and specialist support. The agency has trained over 1,000 health workers and aims to halve the rate of hearing loss in First Nations children by 2029. Now in its 3rd year, the RISE Project, Australia's largest Indigenous-led education evaluation, has released its 2025 impact report showing how culturally grounded, targeted support is improving outcomes for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students. Launched in 2022 by the Aurora Education Foundation, RISE has engaged 800 students across 47 schools with varying levels of academic and cultural support. Findings reveal that even modest investment leads to improved attendance, well-being, school engagement, and family involvement. Students in the most intensive support programs reported higher confidence, stronger school belonging, and better academic results. Aurora CEO and Wiradjuri woman Layla Smith says the report is proof that Indigenous-led education models can deliver meaningful change, calling it both an act of self-determination and a challenge to the broader education system to expect and enable Indigenous excellence. Wiradjuri and Gomeroi man Will Davo Hickey is heading to the US to play for the Chicago Bulls in the 2025 NBA Summer League, following a breakout season with the Alara Hawks. The 26-year-old guard played a key role in the Hawks' NBL 25 championship win, averaging 10.1 points, 5 rebounds, and 4.3 assists, and delivering near triple-double in the grand final. Hickey reunites with former teammate Lachlan Aldridge in Chicago and is now on the radar for national selection, with mentor Uncle Ricky Baldwin saying the Summer League could be his Olympic springboard. After years of grinding through lower leagues and limited NBL opportunities, Hickey's story of perseverance and self-belief is now one of inspiration and determination. Indigenous Business Australia has teamed up with the Empower Digital to launch the Digital Catalyst program, a new initiative aimed at boosting the digital capabilities of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander service-based businesses. Announced this week, the program offers culturally safe support through a mix of business planning, AI training, website development, and digital marketing. The first cohort kicks off in Toowoomba in August 2025, with more locations to follow. IBA says the program is about long-term economic empowerment, helping First Nations businesses thrive in today's digital economy. Deputy CEO Sean Armistead emphasised that digital capability is essential for sustainable growth, calling the program an investment in future community resilience and self-determination. Applications are now open. Fremantle star and proud Noongar man Michael Sonny Walters has announced his retirement from the AFL after 239 games, ending a 17-year career with the Dockers, effective immediately. A beloved figure since debuting in 2009, Walters retires as a 5-time leading goal kicker, All-Australian, life member and the club's second most capped Indigenous player. Despite his efforts to return from a persistent knee injury, the 34-year-old said his body could no longer keep up with the demands of elite football. Known for his X-factor, leadership and cultural pride, Walters also captained the Indigenous All-Stars earlier this year and played a key role in mentoring young players and inspiring the next generation. Fremantle paid tribute to Walters as a leader, cultural custodian and community role model who never forgot where he came from. Cooinda Lodge in Kakadu National Park is celebrating NAIDOC Week with a vibrant program of cultural events honouring the region's rich Aboriginal heritage. Located on Murrumba country, the lodge will host activities including weaving workshops, bush tucker talks, cultural dinners and family-friendly events like kids' pancake breakfasts and outdoor fun. This year's NAIDOC theme, The Next Generation's Strength, Vision and Legacy, is reflected on the focus on young Badinj artists, musicians and chefs. Cooinda Lodge General Manager Jason Cleverly said the week is about celebrating both the 65,000-year legacy and the emerging voices shaping the future of Kakadu. That's today's daily news roundup from the National Indigenous Times. For more news, head to nit.com.au and sign up to our free newsletter today.